Maggie, I've never seen anything like it. You were soaring through the air, and next thing I knew, you were flip-flopping through fire.
My name is Kari Wong. I am 20 years old. I live in Toronto, but I grew up in Markham, and I am an actor. My acting journey started around 6 years old. My best friend met with the agent that I'm with now, and she was like, oh, like you should do it too. So I went and I didn't get it. They did not hire me. And then I tried again a couple months later, and I got hired, and I started doing modeling as a kid with Walmart and Sears and like commercial acting. And then that's when how the auditions and stuff started. And I would get auditions for voice acting, but I never booked anything until I was 16. I think I was in 11th grade or something like that. So I was a late bloomer for sure. That's how I got into it and loved it ever since. Voice acting for me is a great way to express your emotions. There's no boundaries. It's just your voice. You're not being judged on your looks or how tall you are or your skin tone or anything like that. It's just your voice, and you can play with the character however you want. And for me, I also do in front of camera acting, but for me, voice acting is just a great escape. And it's a great way to just be yourself and just let go and do whatever comes to mind and try new things, and that's why I really like it. The first character that I ever did is Anne Yu from PJ Masks. I still record for her. She's kind of like a part of me now, I guess. Her personality, she's a strong Asian female in the show, and a lot of kids, very young kids, watch the show. And growing up for me, I didn't have a lot of Asian role models on TV and cartoons especially. So to be able to have that for a kid out there is important to me. For sure, when I was starting out, I had difficulty finding the character and locking into the voice, and I kind of would go in and out of the voice, or at different sessions my voice would sound different. So it was really finding the character and really nailing the voice and making sure it stays consistent, because I'll do recordings, once a week or once every 2 weeks. And so you don't have the constant, you don't do it every day. So it was finding that and making sure it stayed consistent. The main thing that I think of, because for the shows that I do, I've already found the character, I know who the character is. So it's easy for me to say, okay, what is this line? Why is she saying this line? And understand it's not just words on a paper. Everything means something, and it comes from something. So it's finding that meaning, finding the who, what, where, when, why behind it. It's also a lot of imagination, especially with voice acting. You're not on set. You don't have the props. You don't have anything like that. It's all your imagination. My dream role would be to voice a Disney princess. That would be Mulan. I watched front and back as a kid. I probably watched that movie 100 times. I absolutely love it. That would be my dream role. But for the meantime, just go for any role that I can and wish for the best. That's all you really can do. Ooh, okay. To be completely honest, I didn't really choose to do voice acting. It kind of just came about. From a young age, I had always loved performing for people. People at family reunions and family gatherings and holidays would always be like, oh, sing for us, Kari, and karaoke. I'm half Filipino, so karaoke is a big thing in my culture. And so I love singing in front of people. I always love the spotlight. And so that's kind of why I got into it. I love being in front of the camera. I was I had a lot of attitude when I was little. So it was just kind of inevitable that my parents would put me in this line of work. But that being said, that doesn't mean that I didn't want to do it. It's just to put your all into it is really scary. It's really scary to put your all into something like this, because you can love something. It's literally I'm literally a starving artist. You can put your all into it, and you can put 1,000% of your effort into it, but it's will you make it? Will you actually get the roles? I've done at least thousands and thousands of auditions, whether that be commercial or TV, film, voice, and I've only booked a handful of things. You'll go all the way to, oh, they've sent your tape to the producers, they're loving you so far, and you get your hopes up, and then boom, like you don't hear back from them. And that's the thing about acting too. They don't tell you, oh, you know what, we went with someone a little taller than you, or we went with someone with a deeper voice than you, or something like that. You just don't hear back at all. And from a young age, I started at 6, like that really takes a toll on you mentally. And for me, that was a struggle of like, okay, do I want to put my all into this? Do I want to go to school for it, really do everything for it? I ended up going to school for business marketing because I wanted a fallback plan. And a lot of artists will do that. Like, you want to be able to like pay your bills and have a roof over your head and food on your table. And it's really difficult, this line of work. I work as a server. I have 2 other jobs that I do other than acting. I work as a server and I'm a skincare sales rep. So you have to pay your bills somehow. It's hard to put your all into something when that is your passion. You have to find the balance. And some people I know, they don't work any other jobs, and this is all that they do. They eat, sleep, and they breathe acting. And I commend them because I can't do that. I'm like too scared to put myself into that position. And to be completely honest, if I could go back, I wouldn't have started so young. It's like a lot. You have to be really resilient from a young age because it's audition after audition after audition, but the payout, it feels amazing. It's very rewarding to bring a character to life and to be proud of the work that you've created. The advice that I'd give to someone in a similar position as me would be, if you have the means to, if you have the ability to, is really try, really go for it. And don't be afraid to explore, audition for characters that maybe you wouldn't usually audition for. Be very transparent with your agent, saying like, let's go for more voice acting roles, or let's go for more in front of camera roles, stuff like that. Be very transparent in what you want. If you have an agent, yes, you work for them, but they also work for you, and you have to mesh well together. And that's the first step in really like going all the way with it to even get those auditions to get to those roles. So I would say it's okay to be scared and it's okay to have nerves, but like use those nerves to push past and really just go for what you want. And at the end of the day, if it's not what it turns out to be, and if you end up not liking it, or you actually do book roles in the industry and you're like, you know what, this is not what I expected, it's not for me, and like that's okay. It's never too late to find a new career or try new things. So I'd say go for it.
Wow, Maddie, that was amazing. You were doing flip-flops and flips and I don't know what I'm saying. But that's okay, right? Of course it's okay, because meeting everyone is the most fun that you'll have all day. Of course. And then they go, Mariah Carey.